A lot of protests are happening in New Caledonia, an highland territory which is located in the Pacific. Maybe for you to see the territory, let me just show you a picture. This is what the island looks like. It is located near the Royalty Islands in the Pacific Ocean. So the Kanak people are the indigenous peoples of New Caledonia, and they are engaging in violent protests in 2024, including looting and larceny. Over 3,000 security personnel have been sent to the ground by France because New Caledonia is a colony of France. Young people are ready to die for the New Caledonia because they are calling for fair distribution of wealth. They are calling for France to recognize the legitimacy of the Kanak people, who are the indigenous people of this island. The condition of these indigenous people is not so good because over 32% live below the poverty line among the Kanaks, while only 9% among the non-Kanaks, according to 2019 census. 80% of Kanaks had a university degree, according to the same census, while 46% had no high school diploma. The Kanak people are fighting for their independence, and they don't like to be called their country to be called New Caledonia. They want it to be called Kanaki. The head of state is the president of France, who is represented by a high commissioner. Their local president is called Louis Mabou. In 2021, New Caledonia voted for the third time against independence. This is because those who are allowed to cast their votes, majority are outsiders. They are British people, they are Europeans mostly, people from France, that is the French. So the numbers of the indigenous peoples, the Kanaks is not sufficient enough for them to be able to earn their independence from France. So if you thought the era of colonialism is over, then you must be wrong. There are 17 other places, actually now say 16 other places where which are non-self-governing territories. For example, Western Sahara, which is occupied by Morocco. There is 10 territories occupied by UK, 3 territories occupied by the United States, 1 territory occupied by New Zealand, and 2 by France. The 2 include French Polynesia and New Caledonia. So there is a lot happening around the world, including colonialism is also happening. Some brief highlights of history of the island of New Caledonia. Starting in 1974, James Cook, a British explorer, named the island New Caledonia after the Latin name of Scotland. In 1840s onwards, the islanders were kidnapped by European traders as slaves for the forced labor in sugar plantations. In 1853, the island was annexed by France. 1864, nickel deposits were discovered, so it became a strategic area where people like the French could get minerals. Kanaki revolt happened in 1878. Where indigenous peoples clashed with French settlers over their rows of land. In 1946, New Caledonia became a French overseas territory. In 2024, riots over allowing more French residents to vote in the local elections and dilute political influence of the native Kanaki people. So they are experiencing a lot of violence right now because while they protest, the French government is sending more and more troops to the island known as New Caledonia to suppress those protests. Even the president of France, the current president, flew from Paris all the way to Nouméa, the capital city of New Caledonia, to discuss about the root cause of those protests. So basically, actually, France is very far from New Caledonia. It is 16,000, but the capital city of France, Paris, is 16,765 kilometers from Nouméa, which is the capital city of New Caledonia. So you have to take, if you take flights, it's around 28 hours 56 minutes for you to land in Nouméa if you are coming from Paris. So from 15th May, Paris declared a state of emergency on New Caledonia. This is what had happened in Kenya in the 1952 when the British declared when the British declared a state of emergency here in Kenya. So thank you very much for tuning in to Kerosi TV. If you are new here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you like, comment and share. Thank you. See you in our next episode.